Hey everybody, I'm Rousseau and I do a little work here and there. It's about time for my new show, Research What Must Die. Don't worry, it's not nearly as bad as it sounds, because we're talking about dice. First, we're talking about six-sided dice. I'm pretty sure everybody knows about these. It's not really that much to talk about. Both of these are what you might call right-handed D6s, or American style, I guess. And that is opposed to the Chinese style. You see, these have the numbers 1, 2, and 3 in a counterclockwise configuration, and the Chinese style D6s have those numbers in a clockwise configuration. Your guess as to why they do that is as good as mine, but the opposite sides still add up to 7. So I guess first we'll talk about the manufacturing of these dice. See, if you got precision dice, they would probably be molded with the numbers or the pips, but you can tell that neither of the dice that I just showed are precision dice. First, the die with the pips, it's got a bit of a bump, and that's because they made the die as a cube, and they heated up a little metal bit and mushed it into each of the sides. Of course, if you're worried about it, it's easy enough to sand off. Here's a sample die that I'm working on for later in the week. Definitely needs another coat of paint, but you can see it's closer to a cube. Still not exactly a cube. Of course, if we go back to that official Dungeons & Dragons 3rd edition die and hold it just right in the light, you'll notice that the sides are dented in where the numbers are. Of course, this doesn't really affect the natural randomness of the die. If you're much of a gambler, you probably know you gotta bounce the dice off of a wall or something, and then you'll get a truly random roll. Past that, like I said, the imperfections in the die are unlikely to affect the roll as much as they would with a rounder die, something like a D12 or a D20. There you're going to want them to be, as close to spherical as possible. Of course, these two dice have an equal chance of landing on any of the sides. It's 1 in 6, or 16 2/3% per side. But if you look at something like this Blood Bowl blocking die, you'll notice you have 4 sides that appear once, but then you have 2 sides that are the same. If you do have 2 sides that are the same, it means that result has a 1 in 3 chance, or 33 1/3. I guess if you're an audiophile, that number will be at least a little special to you. The green dice that you saw at the beginning are part of a Warhammer 40k scattered dice set. One of them is pretty similar to the dice we've already seen, the standard ones at least. 5 of the sides count by 2, so 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and then you have a symbol, but all of those sides are equally as likely to show up. The other die is a little different from all of the dice that we've seen so far, because 2 of the results are the same. You have a 1/3 chance to get that result, which I believe is a direct hit, and then the other 4 sides are arrows, but these arrows do not act the same as the arrow on the Blood Bowl die, because like I said, you combine these 2 green dice together, you use the number on the one die to determine a distance, and you use the arrow to figure out which direction. So, this is pretty interesting, because you got, a 2/3 chance to roll an arrow, and then which direction the arrow points actually matters. It's kind of neat. So again, you have 2 dice with a standard percentage chance and 2 with a more unconventional percentage chance. Granted, they all do different things. The results on each die are fairly unique, but of course, those more unique dice aren't the most common D6s you might use. So we'll do a quick recap. D6s. If all the sides are different, you have a 1 in 6 or 16 2/3% chance to get any one side. If a result appears on 2 sides, you have a 33 1/3% or 1 in 3 chance. 3 sides, it's 50%. 4 sides, 66 2/3, or just 2/3. 5 sides, 83 1/3%. And 6 sides, well, you might as well roll a marble. Anyway, you know me, I got other stuff to do, so I'm gonna have to call that it for the first episode of Research What Must Die. Till next time, you've been watching Rousseau Works, and I am Rousseau, out.